Siri, are you listening? A privacy breach. Hey there, Apple users. Remember those times you whispered secrets to Siri, thinking it was just you and your phone? Well, turns out someone else might have been listening. Apple, the tech giant famous for iPhones and sleek gadgets, has been caught red-handed letting Siri eavesdrop on our private conversations. This isn't just some tech glitch we're talking about. This is a major privacy breach that affects millions of people who trusted Apple with their personal information. Imagine talking about your dream vacation or a medical concern only to have those conversations recorded and potentially shared without your knowledge. That's right, folks. Your private moments might have been used for more than just asking Siri for the weather. This scandal has sent shockwaves through the tech world, raising serious questions about how our data is being used and who has access to it. Stay tuned, because in the next section we'll dive into the details of the lawsuit against Apple and what exactly they did wrong. So how did Apple end up in the hot seat? Well, it all started with a class action lawsuit filed back in 2019. The lawsuit claimed that Apple's voice assistant, Siri, was secretly recording conversations even when it wasn't supposed to. Remember that handy "Hey Siri" feature, the one where you say those magic words to activate Siri? The lawsuit alleged that Siri was being activated accidentally, picking up conversations without the trigger phrase, and it gets worse. The lawsuit also claimed that these recordings were being shared with third parties, including advertisers. That's right, your private chats about that embarrassing rash or your secret crush on your barista might have ended up in the hands of companies looking to sell you something. People started noticing weird coincidences, talking about needing new sneakers and then seeing ads for Air Jordans popping up on their phones, or mentioning a craving for pasta and suddenly being bombarded with Olive Garden commercials. It was like Siri was playing a creepy game of targeted advertising with our lives. After years of denials and legal battles, Apple has finally agreed to settle the lawsuit for a whopping $95 million. That's a lot of money, even for a company as rich as Apple. Now, before you start planning your shopping spree with your share of the settlement, there are a few things you need to know. The settlement still needs to be approved by a judge, and it covers a specific period from September 17th, 2014 to December 31st, 2024. If you owned a Siri-enabled device during that time, you might be eligible for a payout, which could be up to $20 per device. It's not a fortune, but hey, it's something, right? The settlement is a big deal because it shows that even tech giants like Apple aren't above the law when it comes to our privacy. It's a victory for consumers and a reminder that we need to hold companies accountable for how they use our data. Section 4. Apple's response: we take privacy seriously. Now, you might be thinking, what does Apple have to say for themselves about all of this? Well, Apple has been adamant that they did nothing wrong. They claim that their privacy policies clearly state that Siri data is anonymized and not linked to specific users. They argue that they never intended for Siri to record conversations without consent, and that any accidental recordings were a technical glitch, not a malicious act. They've also emphasized that they've made changes to Siri to improve privacy and give users more control over their data. But here's the thing, even if Apple didn't intentionally eavesdrop on us, the fact that it was possible in the first place is a major concern. It shows that our devices can be vulnerable to privacy breaches, and we need to be vigilant about protecting our data. Section 5. What's next? Protecting your privacy in a digital world. The Apple Siri scandal is a wake-up call for all of us. It shows that in today's digital age, our privacy is constantly under threat. So what can we do to protect ourselves? First, we need to be more aware of the data our devices are collecting and who has access to it. Read those privacy policies, folks, even if they are as exciting as watching paint dry. Second, we need to demand more transparency from tech companies. We have a right to know how our data is being used and to have control over our privacy settings. And if we're not happy with how a company is handling our data, we need to speak up and hold them accountable. The Apple Siri scandal might seem like a distant tech issue, but it affects all of us. It's a reminder that our privacy is precious and that we need to be proactive in protecting it. So the next time you talk to Siri, remember, you might not be the only one listening.